Guardian headline is "Man arrested after objects thrown at Nigel Farage in Barnsley." I mean, it shows that, the slight media bias. I'm surprised they didn't go with violence at far-right rally.
Yeah.
Instead of, can you imagine if, Don Butler or Diane Abbott had builders' rubble thrown at them when they're on a bus? The Guardian wouldn't be saying, "Oh, yeah, there were some objects, thrown for some reason." So, yeah, a 28-year-old man who actually looks like Rodney Trotter. I don't know if you saw him. But he's not. He
didn't look like he was in the best of health, physical or mental, to be honest.
He had a white patch on the back of his hair.
I think that might have been. I think the first thing he threw at him, it was hard to see at first, and it was announced as rocks. But I think actually it was a cup with some liquid and maybe frothy coffee. And I think it actually was the top of the coffee was left on his head when he first threw it. Then he starts fishing around in a sort of builder's bin.
Yeah.
And nobody's quite sure what he fished out.
Yeah, and he got arrested, and he's been arrested on suspicion of a public order offence after, and this was in Barnsley. And we've seen sort of escalating attacks on right-wing politicians, especially in Europe and in Germany over the last year. 86 attacks on the AfD, who are, they're considered hard right. I think people 30 years ago would say quite sensible.
The thing about these things, the presumption is that it can escalate, that you get copycats, that somebody pushes it a bit far and suddenly it isn't funny anymore. I don't know. Maybe we're all being a little bit kind of pious about it. What do you think, George?
No, I don't think we are. I think it has escalated. I mean, MPs have been murdered.
Yeah.
And this just all adds to it. The violence, Barclays banks, windows smashed in, all of it is the degradation of society and the inability to have a conversation with your political opponent.
Well, that's the thing that worries me. It's not so much actually is somebody going to murder Nigel Farage, but more realistically and seriously, is he going to become less available for interactions on the street? Because that's the really good part of our democracy. And that isn't like a universal even in Europe, is it?
Yeah, and also it's going to push candidates out of politics. I mean, who'd go into politics? If you're a top person in the business world, like Sajid Javid took a 98% pay cut to become a politician. What's the incentive if you're just going to get abuse and you're just going to have your life picked over and you're going to have stuff thrown at you and you're going to be attacked?
Or even at people outside protesting, the pro-Palestinians outside people's homes, targeting people's children. Remember Jacob Rees-Mogg's kids being shouted and stuff. It's all part of that same thing. And, this guy needs to go to jail and people need to understand that there are going to be ramifications.
And he needs to be made fun of for looking like Rodney Trotter.
Stocks.
Yeah.
I think it looks like the
and we can throw rubble at him.